What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Drums and Drams. My name is Cameron, and today we have another episode of Quick Sips. On today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at this Barrell Bourbon New Year's batch, the 2022 edition. I've never had any of Barrell's New Year special releases, and so I'm really going into this with no preconceived notions. I'm just excited to see what they've done with this. Barrell does a lot of interesting blends. Some are really great, some are misses for me, but by and large, I feel like their blending skills are phenomenal, and so I'm really excited to check this bottle out. Now, just a quick reminder for those of you watching, these Quick Sips videos are unedited reviews. So I go through this kind of, one time through, one take, no edits, no real production going on, and it allows me to put out content a little bit quicker so that I don't have all of those editing hours putting these videos together. This is especially relevant right now. The channel is coming back from a several month break towards the end of 2021, and I'm working on increasing my content production back to where it was before I took that break. And so doing some of these unedited videos is going to help me catch up while I kind of backlog some content and get that out for all of you. So I just wanted to mention that here. I need to also say at the beginning of this video that this bottle was sent to me from Barrell Craft Spirits by way of Aaron from Robra Marketing. And so I just have to say thank you to Barrell, thank you to Aaron for hooking me up with this. I have some other Barrell products here, some of the bourbon batches. I have some Stellum stuff in the basement, and then some other bottles that have been sent from other distilleries that I need to review. Most of those were sent before the channel took this little break here, and so you're going to be seeing more videos of these bottles popping up on the channel. But today, we don't need to talk about that anymore. We're going to get right into this 2022 New Year's batch from Barrell. Let me kind of give you a couple of pointers here about what's going on with this. The production of this was a little over 10,000 bottles, which is basically 4 times the production of the 2021 release, which is pretty significant to have that amount of a production increase in only 1 year. The bourbons represented in here that have been blended in come from 7 different states. That is crazy, all right? In order: Tennessee, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, Wyoming, New York, and Texas. It's pretty crazy that we're seeing 7 states here. And then the proof of this is 57.67% ABV, or the proof is 115.34, okay? So a nice, drinkable proof. I love that 115 proof range. I believe if I recall correctly, there is a range of 5 to 14-year-old bourbons in here. So a lot of different stuff. A lot of different ages, different states, I'm sure different flavor profiles. So let's go ahead and check this out. 2022 New Year's edition of Barrell Bourbon. And I gotta say it, this video is hopefully going to come out on New Year's Day. And, that's kind of the plan for this one here. So let's go ahead and check this thing out on the nose. All right. First thing on the nose, lots of ethanol here. That's not my favorite quality. It makes it feel a little youthful, but it's there. It's very intense on the nose, but it's also very light on the nose. You're getting some grain notes here that kind of remind me of a Penelope bourbon, that 4-grain MGP thing with a lot of wheated bourbon in the mix. I'm getting a vibe of that on here. I'm getting some honey notes, that kind of light honey, some light summer fruits. Yeah, like some green apple. Very crisp, very kind of tart. Like you just cut up a green apple, you just bit into a strawberry, I'm getting some really nice light fruit notes. Certainly some vanilla here too. Yeah, it's ethanol, it's light fruits, light grain, maybe a hint of toastiness, that kind of easygoing vanilla. So let's go ahead and check it out here on the palate. Cheers. Wow. First sip's pretty intense on the ethanol there. Yeah. The biggest takeaway right now, as I'm having my first sip, is just the toastiness that's coming along on the palate here right up front. Like, yes, I got the grain notes that I found on the nose. I got that vanilla. Less fruit on the palate than I got on the nose. And that fruit was replaced by a really nice kind of light toast, a light toasted quality here. I really like where this is going. I like the fact that it feels, well, it feels kind of fresh. It feels kind of like a clean bourbon profile here. And I could spin that in a lot of ways and say, oh, you know, you want to have a fresh, clean profile for the new year. I don't know. It doesn't feel very winter time like to me in this case. It's more of a spring or summer pour, if I had to kind of classify it that way. I wish I could tame the ethanol down just a bit. But yeah, I'm getting a really kind of interesting light toast note. It's not that double oaked kind of toastiness. It's lighter than that. And I keep coming back in my head to feeling like this is almost that Penelope kind of vibe here. So let's go ahead and nose it a little bit more. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever had white grape peach juice. I can't remember probably Welch's, I guess, but white grape peach, that is what I'm getting here on the nose. Pretty distinctly, actually. Yeah, it's nice. It's tart, slightly tart from those lighter fruits. It's very, very sweet from the vanilla, the grain quality, that toastiness, and then it's just intense and spicy from that ethanol and from just some of the oak spice going on in here. I think that about sums it up. There's not a big kind of oak presence here. The age of some of those older bourbons is not necessarily shining through. It might be there, it might be keeping the younger ones in check, but you wouldn't really know it. It just feels to me like a 6-year bourbon at cask strength. Feels pretty heavy on the MGP, you know? It's kind of got that MGP quality to it, like I mentioned, the Penelope thing. I'm not getting a lot of those craft spirit tastes from maybe some of the smaller distilleries in some of the states that are, you know, like Ohio or like New York or some of the states that are known for having some smaller craft distilleries. None of that's really coming through. I mean, it's really homogenized and it's been blended well here. The only complaint really is that we could take away some of that ethanol, but otherwise it has a profile that's distinct and that I actually really enjoy, just maybe not for the new year, maybe for, you know, 4 to 5 months after the new year or something like that when we get to the springtime. It's a really great pour for that kind of weather. But I think that's all I really need to say. In terms of a rating here, I might give this, I might say that this is like a B-. If it were a lower MSRP, which I don't think I've mentioned yet, the MSRP is $90. For a lower MSRP, I think I could give this a solid B. You know, if it was $60, $70, which is kind of that Elijah Craig barrel proof price point, I could see being a solid B. It would feel almost like I said, a Penelope barrel strength in many ways, which is priced around that $60 range. But at $90, you have to kind of consider that and knock a little bit off of whatever score or rating you're going to give this thing. So I'm going to say B- on this. Do I recommend it? If you're a barrel fanatic, or if you're going to a New Year's party and you want to bring this along, then maybe, yeah, go ahead and pick one of these up. If you're looking for a really special kind of limited release, I don't think that's what we have here. I think this feels to me more like, I don't know, more like a go-to type pour as opposed to a very special type pour. And maybe that's just because it's a little bit of a lighter profile, but I'm going to stop rambling here, guys. B- is my final answer. Light profile, It's sweet, it's very tart from those light fruits. It's got some good grain quality going on here, but just a little too much ethanol for me. So that is going to do it for this quick sip review. Do all those good YouTube things. If you wouldn't mind, like this video, subscribe to the channel, click on the notification button, turn on all notifications. That way you can find out when I'm dropping new content and when I'm going live. If you want to support the channel, you can always do that on Patreon. Building a great community over there. And I think that's all I've got. Keep an eye out for new videos here on the Drums and Drams channel as I continue ramping things back up after a much needed break. But now it's time to get down to business and review some freaking whiskey. Cheers, and I will see you all next time here on Drums and Drams.